Okay, here we go. This is a trade that I entered on the 14th, which was right here on this day. This is the daily chart of GNIN. Again, that's GNIN. This is a penny stock that was pumped quite successfully for quite a while, and it is now into its long fade into nothingness, going away into the sunset. So I shorted this at Interactive Brokers, put it in a short order, good to cancel. It filled at 58 cents. Wasn't really what I wanted to do. I started paying attention to it really up around here, around the 75 mark, which was when I originally started watching it. It's just I made the mistake of not putting an order in, which I should have done. When I'm sure of something, I should definitely just go ahead and put the order in and let it hit. I didn't. So after I noticed it, finally it took a couple days, I did put the order in. It did hit at 58, which was a good entry because you can see how it just started to drop and slowly just kind of churned down. And it's churned down, and I held it for all these days. Let's see, I had it on the 14th, so 15th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've held it for about 10 days. Gone down a little bit more. I made 13 cents, which isn't huge. Could have been more. Like I said, from 75, I should have caught that probably, but I'm okay with the slow fade. That's what I do. So I definitely do prefer to trade that way. Now, the reason that I'm out right now, what is the reason that I'm out? There's not massive volume on this. You can see that the volume bars have just gone down, down, down the whole time. If we go back here, you can see how volume was ramped way up. And this is a key indicator for me. I wait, of course, until something breaks $1. That's when I start getting interested in it. Then I just start looking at the volume. And then the volume is definitely faded. It's faded, faded, faded. You can see on some of these days it ramped up a little bit. Nothing outrageous. So this volume just starts to fade down. And that's when I usually will start taking some sort of a position into the stock. Now, why did I get out of the stock? Why did I buy to cover today? Is there has been this ATDF market maker here and Knight and ETRF also. They have been throwing in these huge supports, and so they're coming in below the price. So you can see that, like right now, the price up here, right, is 46.465 was the last sale of this stock, 1,000 shares. So you see at 46, we've got 70,000 shares. At 45, you got 31. At 44, you got 20. We've got over, and then you got 5. We probably got 100,000 shares. Well, you have more than 100,000 shares, well over 100,000 shares here, up to 45. So that's definitely a wall of buyers. Then you see up to here, we have 50,000 and then 20,000 at 48. So the resistance is not as organized as the support. So support is definitely set up. Now, this stock did show support at 50 for a long time. It churned at 50. You can see these days right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just sat and watched it churn at 50, wondering when it would break. And it broke a little bit, broke a little bit, broke a little bit. Then it broke 50. And I was wondering, if it broke 50, would it just drop completely straight down? Would it just fall off a cliff? And it kind of dropped, but it didn't do what I was thinking it would do. So I went ahead and just got out, took my 13 cents, took my profit. You're never gonna go broke, never gonna have a problem with taking profits. What I should have done really is had a better entry, but I did get out. And again, the reason that I got out was this wall right down here of level 2. So they're trying to support it. It's not a massive that's not being promoted anymore or anything, so it's not like they're going to prop it up or send it back up or anything. It probably If it has another green day, you can see how these green days are just very small, very short now. So because of price action is the reason that I got out. I did not have a target price. I had a target price in my mind, but of course it was well below. I always have some sort of a target price. My target price actually, I can show that. Hold on. My target price really should have been way down here to this. You see this right here. Let's see. Yeah, right there. 20, right? Because you're looking at, again, filling a gap, right? So really should have been, that's 20. So when I first go in, that's usually what my price, my target is. If it drops to 20, that's fine. But what I'll do is I'll usually put the order in as soon as the short fills. I'll put the limit order in to sell that, to buy to cover that at 20, and then I'll go ahead and I'll adjust it based on what I see of price action. What I saw here, 100,000, it had been coming in at 100,000. First they were propping it up at 55, then they propped it up at 52, then they propped it up at 50. You saw that for 4 days. Then it dropped. As soon as it cracked 50, they dropped it. This is the first real support that I've seen them trying to create. So that's the reason that I got out. What else am I looking at right now? I am looking at TALK right now, actually. This, I actually do have a position in this, and I just got it today at 80. Again, not my ideal position, but I was happy that I got in on it at 80. It dropped right away. You can see this little wick here. I can show on the minute chart for the day. Yeah, right away. You can see the low came down here to 64, which was nice. I was up right away, right? The first hour I was up. But it was something I knew I was going to hold for a little while because I wanted going to hold this just a little bit longer. But there was a gap, so I figured this gap would fill eventually, and it has filled, so that's okay. I do have an order in here at 95 to average in. So if it does hit 95, I will average in with the same amount that I came in here with 80. So that will double my position. But then, as it comes down, of course, I'll be making more and more. I do not see this thing going up any more than it's gone up right now, actually. So, to have a green day, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I just like being in it, making sure that I'm in it. Now, the difference here, you can see that it's trading at 91.6. You can look here. We've got resistance at 92 of 90,000. You're not going to break through that. It's about 345 right now today. So you're not going to break through that today, that 90,000. But down here, you've got nothing. We've got no support over on this side on the bid or, creating support. I've got no walls of buyers or anything. So this could just drop and just keep going, really. And what I'm looking at a target, more or less, is somewhere around 60 just because of this day way back here. So if I can get to 60, make 20 cents on it, that'll be great. But right now I'm just holding it. I'm not worried about it going up. I'm not worried about getting squeezed. There's a bunch of shares available to short. So that is what I am in right now. If there are any questions about anything about strategies or anything like that, please leave a comment or you can send me an email. My email is zenstock2@gmail.com. Again, that is zenstock2@gmail.com. I'm trying to get better at making these videos. So any suggestions or critique, please let me know.